if you're here, you're probably another struggling student who has little money to pay the tuition and much less money to survive. So let's get right into it, and I will let you know about this super cool scholarship that you may also apply to if you are in Korea and you are enrolled in a 4-year university course. Let's get right into it. Okay, so before getting into the juicy part of the video, let me give you a little background about the other scholarships that you may be eligible to get if you are an international student studying at Sogang University. So at Sogang, for international students, there are broadly two kinds of scholarships that the school gives you. One is at admission, so that is basically 100% based on your admission documents. So when you submit all the documents, they basically score them, and if you get a high score, like if you're I think in the top 5% or 10%, you need to check that in the admission leaflet, you get like a 100% tuition waiver. And then like 50% waiver or 25% waiver and all of that. You can check out all those scholarships in the admission manual. I will put the link down below for the latest manual, and there are all the details about the scholarships that you can get on admission in Sogang University. The second kind of scholarship that Sogang gives you is while you are enrolled in the university. So after you finish your first semester, basically, you are eligible to apply for those. There are basically two kinds of scholarships. One is based 100% on merit. Technically, you don't need to apply for it. You just basically automatically get the scholarship if your grades are high. You don't need to submit any documents. You don't need to do anything. You just have to wait. But I think that there are a lot of kids who study really well in Sogang, so it is kind of difficult. But I don't know. I don't know how tough the competition is or whatever. And the second scholarship that you can get, which is called Global Scholarship 2, which is basically for students who have financial difficulties. To apply for this scholarship, you need like documents that show your parents assets and their financial situation and all of that, all in original, and your family relations certificate and all of that. So if you want to apply for this scholarship, there is a certain period, and they are open twice a year, so every semester, and you can apply it on the same portal. So that are the two scholarships that the school gives you. Now, until here, it was all about the scholarships just for people who are enrolled or are taking admission in Sogang University. But from now on, I'm just going to talk about this scholarship, which has nothing to do with Sogang, but it is not a scholarship provided by Sogang. So I think I don't know exactly what all universities do provide this scholarship, but you just need to email your International Affairs office or financial aid office in your school and ask them if they have this scholarship or not. So that's your job, that's not my job. I'm just going to tell you about the scholarship, and then the rest is up to you. Okay, so this scholarship is basically provided by Samsung. Yes, the huge ass conglomerate Samsung. And these guys, they have a whole separate department of Samsung Dream Scholarship Foundation, which gives international students who are living in South Korea and who are pursuing an undergrad degree in one of the South Korean universities. Most of the major universities, they have this scholarship from what I know. So yeah, this scholarship is provided by Samsung, so it is a pretty, I would say, prestigious scholarship because, well, Samsung is big. The beef of the juice of the whole video is how much do they give you, right? Well, they give you Now, how much they give you also kind of depends from school to school. Every school has their own composition of the scholarship. So in case of Sogang, you get a full tuition waiver from the school. From the foundation, you get the living expenses, which are the same for all the universities. You get, for every semester that you get the scholarship, you get 3,900,000 won per semester. So if you manage to keep the scholarship until you graduate, you basically get around $3,500 every semester.
Funny story. While I was applying for the scholarship, when I saw the notice, I misread the amount of living expenses. I missed out 10. So I thought I would get like $350 a month, but turns out I get around $600 a month because I misread the amount and when you get it. So yeah, I did not realize until I got the congratulatory email from the Samsung Foundation. I saw these are way too many zeros. Then I remember, and then I confirmed, and then it turns out that I get that much money
at the beginning of the semester. And they don't give it you monthly. They literally just give you all the money in one go at the beginning of the semester. So yeah, it is a huge it's a huge amount of money in your bank account at one go. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is basically the amount that you get from the scholarship. And then more than that, the scholarship, the foundation, they also organize a lot of activities. They take you to like field trips. They have a lot of student clubs where you can participate. There are a lot of events where you can network with the other kids who are also recipients of the scholarship and all of that. So it's a huge deal. If you are not sure if your school has the scholarship or not, just check their notice board where they post notices about scholarships, or just write them an email. That's what I did. I didn't look at the notice. I didn't know there was a notice that existed. I literally just emailed the International Affairs Office asking them, guys, tell me what are the different scholarships that an international student can get in Sogang, because I need the money. And they just sent me all the list, and that's kind of it. That's literally that you need to do. You just need to write an email. So yeah, that is what basically the whole scholarship is. And now I'll briefly give you an idea about what kind of documents you might need and what is the process to get the scholarship. The process to get the scholarship is basically divided into like 2 big steps. The first one is submission of documents. The documents you submit to your own school, to the department that is responsible for it. In Sogang, it is the Haksing Chiwon team, which is the financial aid and support team in Sogang. It is in this building. So yeah, you just need to go there and give them all the documents. So the documents that you require are basically all attached and mentioned in the notice board, in the notice. So please make sure that you look at the notice and you read it carefully, and there are all the attachments that you need to know. So before we get into how the process goes, let me tell you about the requirements that you need, like obligatory requirements that you need to get the scholarship. Well, first is that you need to be an international student living in South Korea and attending an undergraduate course at a 4-year university. Since last semester, they have also added this another requirement, that is, even if it's online semester during this whole pandemic thing that's happening, you are still living in South Korea. So if you're living in your home country, you probably won't be eligible for the scholarship. I don't know if they'll continue this even in the next semester or not, but probably they will, because universities are still having online courses. Third, you need to have language proficiency in Korean and English, both of them. It's not an or question, it's both the languages. Fourth, you need to be a citizen of one of the countries which fall into the list, in this list. Okay, if your country is mentioned is in this list, you are eligible. If you're not, then well, you can't. So it's basically a scholarship for people from developing countries. So yeah, those are the basic requirements, I think. Make sure to check out the latest notice from your school to see if they have added or changed any of the requirements and or any of that. Okay, so those were the requirements. Now if you checked all the boxes, yeah, now you can prepare to submit your documents. The basic documents that are required are well, the application form. You need to fill out the application form, which can be filled out in English or Korean. I suggest fill it out in Korean because I mean, if you're applying, you probably have a good level of Korean, and I think they prefer people who speak good Korean. So just write it in Korean, get a Korean friend to help you out in correcting stuff and all of that, and just I suggest do it in Korean. And then you need your grade certificate from the school, the certificate of enrollment from your school. Those are the two documents you need from the school. You need a recommendation letter from your department head. So yeah, just make sure you get a good recommendation letter from your department head professor. You need to fill out the self-introduction and the study plan, and then you just need to like submit all the privacy agreement documents and all of that. So these are the obligatory documents that you need. And then the optional documents are basically all the other extracurricular activity documents that you have. I literally submitted everything that I had: my volunteering certificates, my language certificates, my work experience certificates. Just submit everything that you have, and the more the better. It's a scholarship. They need to know what you're good at and all of that. So yeah, submit as many documents supporting extracurricular activities that you can, so that you can show them that you're just not good at studies, but you are also good at other things in life and in society. So yeah, submit all the documents that you can. And one good thing about this scholarship is that you don't necessarily need to submit your parents' financial documents to get the scholarship. It is an optional document, but you don't necessarily need to submit them. So in the application form, there's an option. There's a question where they ask you who is paying your tuition, and then there are all sorts of options. So is it your family, or you're on your own, or a scholarship, and all of that. So I just ticked mark on my own and scholarship because I already had a 50% scholarship that I got on admission in Sogang. So yeah, and I didn't have to submit any of the documents from my parents. I didn't have to submit any financial documents. So yeah, that was kind of it. That's basically all the documents that you need to submit. And then if you pass the documents screening stage, you will get an email saying that congratulations, you have passed the document screening, and now you need to come for an interview and an essay test. So if you pass the document screening, the second stage is to give an interview and give an essay test. Now, last semester, because of all the pandemic situation that was going on, they canceled the essay test, so we just had to give an online interview, which lasted around 30 minutes. It depends when you apply. If the situation is better, you'll probably have an offline interview and also an essay test. So I have no idea what comes in the essay test. Don't ask me because I never gave it. But it is basically, in the email it was written that it would be you would have to write an essay on the topic that they give you on spot. So you can't really prepare anything for it, but you just need to, be aware of your surroundings, what's going on in the world and all of that. So yeah, I don't know what comes in the essay, but in the interview, my interview was around 30 minutes. There were two people who were asking me questions, and one was asking me in English, one was asking me in Korean. So I did my interview like almost 50-50, and it was like just switching back and forth, and I don't think that's a problem because, well, I got the scholarship. So they ask you things from your self-introduction and all of that. So like, for example, I wrote about how I try to live a minimalistic life, and they asked me during the interview, like, how do you live a minimalistic life and all of that. The interview is basically just them asking you questions about you. It's not a difficult interview. It's I don't know, it's just about things that you already know about yourself, and
80% of the questions would be about yourself. 80-90% questions were like about me and my life and my future goals and all of that. But then there are some questions, like 1 or 2 questions, which are very, I would say, philosophical questions. They just want to know your opinions on things. So I wouldn't tell you the exact question that they asked me because, well, I don't know if they use the same questions in all the interviews or not. So I don't want to disclose the question. But the trick here is that you talk with confidence. You don't stop talking. Just don't stop talking. Don't just start talking. Just start saying anything up top of your brain. Just start talking and don't stop. Just don't stop. Just keep on making sentences. Keep on talking and don't stop. And just talk with confidence. And I think that does the trick. So
the interview lasts for about 30 minutes, and that is it. And then if you pass the interview stage, you get an email saying that congratulations, you got the scholarship. And so yeah, that is kind of it. And I got the scholarship this year. So in 2020 September, I think I got the mail in September 3rd. I got the scholarship on September 3rd, 2020. It's not that if you get the scholarship once, they will just keep giving you scholarship money. Every semester, at the end of every semester, you have to have a short interview kind of it with them, just to talk about your, like, how's it going, what are your plans for the next semester and all of that, which you probably would have anyway, so it shouldn't be difficult. I mean, I still haven't had any interviews because I just got the scholarship this semester, but I'll have it in February next year. And every year you have to you have to fill out about your plans, like you have to write down on the website like about your plans for the future, your next semester, and what all activities you did in the last semester and all of that. So it's basically just writing out plans. Yes, that is what this scholarship is. It's called Samsung Kumchangakam or Samsung Dream Scholarship, and yeah, it is pretty cool scholarship. And I hope that now that you know about this scholarship, you guys will also try to apply for it, and hopefully you'll get a lot of support in your studies in South Korea, and we'll all live happily ever after. So yeah, I hope this video helps. That is it for today, and see you in the next video. Bye.